Yeah, so hi guys, it's 12 p.m. Am I audible? Just let me know in the comment section whether I'm audible or not. Am I audible? Okay, okay. So a few things. First of all the people who were texting me and asking from me about what to do specifically for prelims. So we will take some of your questions, some of your doubts, and then we'll try to break them down and try to solve the major doubts. Certain do's, certain do's that are very essential for prelims. It's on 24th of May if I'm not wrong. So we'll try to get it better that way, right? What are the do's of UPSC prelims, right? So the first do, the most important part aspect of what you have to do for UPSC CSE is that you need to be very thorough with your basics, right? And what are basics? Basics are basically understanding that, for example, if for example there's this thing going on right now in Iran versus US, and you should when you read the newspaper, or when you read about anything relating to their conflict. So वहां पे लिखा है कि Strait of Hormuz was choked by Iran, right? Now you should know Strait of Hormuz कहाँ पे है, Strait of Hormuz का context क्या है, why Strait of Hormuz is so important that US had to kind of kneel down in front of Iran, which is not even close, to US. US is such a big military power, and thus we need to have that understanding how Iran played so strategically that ईरान ने कैसे पूरा इतना ज्यादा उनकी इकोनॉमी शैटर्ड थी, पॉलिटिक मतलब वहां पे जो लोग थे दे वर अगेंस्ट द regime. Then their supreme leader died, he was killed by the US, and still they maintained their they tried to maintain their military and stuff. Secondly, they used the world economics, to put in the pressure against US, wherein they choked the Strait of Hormuz, which is one of the essential areas of oil generation. And therefore, again, that was a strategic move, because US alone will have to face a lot of pressure, not only from their own country people but also from across the world, wherein यूएस के वॉर के कारण बहुत कंट्रीज को लॉसेस हो रहे थे, एंड देयरफॉर उन्होंने बहुत स्ट्रैटेजिकली स्ट्रेट ऑफ हॉर्मुज को चोक किया, which affects everyone, right? And therefore the pressure builds on the US. And thirdly, of course, Iran has used its proxy wars, proxy जो militants हैं उनके Houthis and all, they have also the area of threatened to close the area of Bab el Mandeb, and Bab el Mandeb leads to Suez Canal, and then अगर ये दोनों जो states हैं ये choke हो गए तो US is done for. And therefore the whole idea I gave you, it is, these are the basics. Once I'll read about, for example, ठीक है, ईरान यूएस का वॉर चल रहा है, आई विल जस्ट गो थ्रू द न्यूज़पेपर एंड आई विल हैव कोर अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ नॉट ओनली व्हाट्स हैपनिंग राइट नाउ, बट ऑल्सो आई अंडरस्टैंड कि कैसे हिस्टोरिकली ऑल्सो ईरान यूएस हैड बैड रिलेशंस एंड स्टफ. सो जोग्राफिकली हाउ थिंग्स आर, स्ट्रेट ऑफ हॉर्मुज कहाँ पे, बब el मंडेब कहाँ पे, हाउ थिंग्स आर वर्किंग आउट. यूएस की पॉलिसी हमेशा से ऐसी रही है कि ट्रंप ने चेंज करी है. सो अ लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स, राइट? It all comes under the idea of basics. So that is why I always say, sorry, I just went like बहुत ज़्यादा बाहर इस पे टॉपिक पे नहीं रहे हम. But anyway, first of all, we'll start with the basics, right? Basics should be always right. Basics, for example, your geography should be good, your economy should be good, your polity should be good, your geography should be good, your history should be good, your art and culture should be good. All the sources, basic sources that are needed to uh, you are needed to read. Not only you have to read them, but also you have to analyze, an analytical mindset से understand करना है सब कुछ. Once you do that, of course जो लोग prelims दे रहे हैं, most of the people are well versed with the knowledge part of it, so they have covered things well. However, the second part, which is in the do's, is to rely completely on the previous so that you can understand there are certain loopholes which you can find, and thus you have to find them, study the previous year questions well, and then your preparation must be aligned with that. The third part is जो तुम्हारे बेसिक्स हैं और जो तुम्हारे करंट अफेयर्स हैं उनको, उनके जो सोर्सेज हैं, जस्ट लिमिट देम. जो एक बार हो गया, कवर हो गया, डोंट मूव टू अदर सोर्सेज नाउ. It's not I would say advisable at all. Rather, it will be disastrous for you, because at the end of the day your brain has a limited recalling power, and therefore if there is, I'm audible, right? I'm audible, right? Guys, please, relevant questions, you know. We are not getting into the personal aspects of thing. यार आई विल मेक टेलीग्राम बट पता नहीं यार, बहुत बहुत सुस्ती आ रही है आजकल. आई हैव माई टेलीग्राम बट आई हैव लाइक I'll tell you, I'll try. Yeah, I'll tell you once. We'll discuss on that. I have told it before, I think. How do you read Lakshmikant? Lakshmikant को तुम ऐसे पढ़ते हो. You start with the central level. You go to like the central executive. You start with the president. Then you read about the vice president. You read about the council of ministers. You read about the prime minister. You read about then you move towards, you know, that part, parliament, matlab legislature, parliament, Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha. You read about the president again. With reference to that, you read the speaker of Lok Sabha, the deputy speaker of Lok Sabha, then you read Rajya Sabha, vice president. Us context mein, you read about parliamentary committees, you read about various motions that are in the parliament and other things. So that you do. After the legislature, you move towards judiciary. Judiciary mein you read about the Supreme Court and uske सारे facets, writ jurisdiction, you know, special leave petition, article 142 143 bhi, natural justice and stuff. So the idea is that you have to move it this way. Starting May, you have to move towards the central executive, then you do central legislature, then you do central judiciary, then you move towards the state may you do state executive, state legislature, state judiciary. Once you're done with that, come towards this independent constitutional bodies, read them, then go towards the idea of non-constitutional bodies, thoda bahut padho, then come to the ideas of fundamental rights part wise. Fundamental rights where DPSPs, then you reading about maybe center state relations and stuff, emergency powers. So you do that, you read Lakshmikant that way, and apply the 80-20 rule in Lakshmikant, क्योंकि Lakshmikant is also very bulky. So 20% जो 20% of Lakshmikant है, not 20% really, उससे ज़्यादा ही है, but the major parts of Lakshmikant must be read very well, because they will reap you 80% of the benefit, right? So focus on certain areas which have been repeated by UPSC every year in the previous year questions. So once you do that, it will be much better for you. No, I'm not giving 26 attempt. I'll give maybe 27 attempt. I'll see. BA honors, BA LLB honors UPSC के लिए best रहेगा. It's a good degree, honestly. I feel कि law is one of the best graduation subjects for UPSC CSE, because as a bureaucrat you have to implement the laws, and if you already know how laws are interpreted, how laws are made and stuff, so being a lawyer helps you a lot. The most important 20% of Lakshmikant are I can't tell you the whole list right now, but okay, I'll try. First is president, then is your center state relations, then it's your emergency powers, your fundamental rights, your preamble, your DPSPs, your some constitutional bodies, major constitutional bodies, then like election commission and UPSC and stuff, and then CAG also, and then we have और भी हैं like there are some topics which are not very important like CVC हो गया, Central Vigilance Commission, NHRC भी हो गया, other questions नहीं है, so you can see it from that perspective. I have replied to that. It's a good degree. Yes, BA, BLLB honors is a good degree. You cannot completely rely on coaching because coaching only can help you, and it cannot, I would say, uh, मतलब वो तुम्हारी सिलेक्शन नहीं करवा सकता, राइट? एट द एंड ऑफ द डे तुम्हें खुद ही करना है. कोचिंग डेफिनेटली हेल्प्स यू, मतलब you get to understand the direction, and if you also have a mentor, then it'll help you more. It tells you the path, but you have to walk the path your own way, right? Why don't you do a meetup with UPSC aspirants in Dharamshala? I can do that, but I don't know how many people are from Dharamshala in my following or followers. We'll have to check. I'll try. Procedural, yeah. So I don't have any tips, but I think consistency, hard work, and relying on previous questions uh, with that grit and resilience and having that MCQ solving ability is something you need for all the exams. So I think it will work for you as well. You should, yeah. So एक महीना बचा है. You should focus on the previous year questions. You should focus on revising your content, whatever you've read, while aligning it with your previous year questions as well. That is important. तुम्हें अपने जितने भी सोर्सेस तुमने पढ़े हैं उसको बार बार पढ़ना है. एक बार तुम वो पढ़ रहे हो तो उसको वापस से प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चंस के साथ लाइन करके देखो कि वेदर द टॉपिक दैट आई एम रिवाइजिंग वेदर इट्स दैट इम्पॉर्टेंट एज अ प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन और नॉट, एंड इफ इट इज देन रिवाइज इट मोर, राइट? मतलब you have to that you can that you have to be smart enough for that, right? And you'll do that, don't worry. No, you need to take more risk in UPSC CSE prelims because यार वही है ना, at the end of the day even the toppers do not get 40 to 45 100% questions 100%, मतलब उन्हें बस 40 to 45 क्वेश्चन का जो मैथ है, जो अंडरस्टैंडिंग है, वो चीज़ तुम डालते हो, then you are able to solve better. No, I did not make notes out of Lakshmikant. I highlighted my Lakshmikant and then I revised it from that. हिस्ट्री स्ट्रैटेजी यही है कि हिस्ट्री को बार बार जो भी तुम्हारा सोर्स है उसको रिविजन्स करो, एंड प्रीलिम्स के लिए look at from the factual perspective, again align it with the previous year questions. जो themes बार बार repeating है उनको ज़्यादा focus करो, like for example मौर्यास पे या फिर गुप्तास पे they have asked questions, so do not leave them, but there's a lot of unpredictability in history, so try to work on the major themes. उन themes को अच्छे से master करके जाओ, उनसे अगर question आया तो गलत नहीं होना चाहिए. Like this time there was a question on the dancing girl of मोहनजोदारो and they asked कि वो कौन से metal की है. तो द आंसर वाज ब्रॉन्ज. अब मोस्ट ऑफ द, अगर इसको कोई गलत कर देता, इट इज समथिंग विच इज वेरी बेसिक विच यू रीड. एक थीम है बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट, इंडस वैली सिविलाइजेशन, यू रीड दैट वेल. एंड अगर इसको कोई गलत कर देता तो मतलब ऑफ कोर्स ही वुड हैव बीन आउट ऑफ द यूपीएससी सीएससी प्रीलिम्स रेस, बिकॉज अगेन these are the questions which are generally done well. Yeah, you start your answer writing after you are done with some subject. Like for example, if you're done with GS4 की proper तुमने notes बना लिए हैं, तुमने सारा practice देख लिया है, तो then you can start your answer writing, because without that, without having the knowledge of the subject, you cannot write answers, I think so. I I was actually against, मतलब मैं तो तीनों के अगेंस्ट चला गया था. ना मेरा बहुत ज़्यादा इंटरेस्ट था, बहुत ज़्यादा लेंदी भी था, और thirdly स्कोरिंग भी नहीं है. So of course it shows well and reflects well in my mark sheet. I think PSIR optional is good. Sociology optional is also good. You have to understand वो तीन criteria है, उनके हिसाब से तुम करो. Yes, I used to make daily targets. Daily targets are very essential because उनके बिना तुम्हारी जो preparation है वो बहुत ज़्यादा abstract रहती है. So daily goals अगर तुम उनको meet करते हो तो you feel a sense of relief and kind of तुम्हें कुछ acknowledgement लगता है कि हाँ तुमने कुछ किया है, and you also see yourself in the right path. कोई भी एनसीईआरटी यूज कर लो, डजेंट मैटर. हिस्ट्री के लिए ओल्ड एनसीईआरटीज करो, बाकी कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. anything else anything else guys, otherwise I'll go. For geography एनसीईआरटी, read the एनसीईआरटी, and secondly, जो जो टॉपिक समझ नहीं आ रहे उनके लिए रैंडमली यूट्यूब पे जाओ, तुम्हें बहुत सारी वीडियोस मिल जाएंगी. जस्ट रेफर टू दोज वीडियोस एंड विल बी डन वेल. Yeah, it's fine. You were feeling like, things are half done and stuff, but it's fine. Yeah, it takes time. It's a process. As a day used to be like, so when I had my, generally when I was studying, like जब when I was preparing for mains, मतलब मैंने प्री से पहले मेंस प्रिपेयर किया था. सो एट दैट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम मे बी 4-5 hours, बट प्री से एक महीने पहले, बिकॉज आई हैड माई एग्जाम्स कॉलेज के 1.5 महीने पहले, बिफोर प्री. देन आई गेव माई एग्जाम, बहुत जल्दी जल्दी ख़त्म किए. After completing them, I had 1 month left with me to revise all the whole prelims and the CSAT. So I used to spend a lot of time, around 12-13 hours per day. Even during mains, I used to study 10-11-12 hours, some days 13 hours, some days 7-8 hours also. But yeah, generally an average of 10-11 hours. CSAT को हर दिन give 1.5 hours. It will be enough. यार लॉ इज़ अ वेरी लेंदी ऑप्शनल. लॉ में जब तक तुम्हें बहुत इंटरेस्ट नहीं हो, जब तक तुम लॉयर नहीं हो, डोंट टेक लॉ. Yeah, you have to start with the basics. You have to develop your नहीं, मैंने कोचिंग नहीं ली है, मैंने ऑनलाइन कोचिंग कुछ सोर्सेज कुछ वो लिए हैं कोर्सेज। जैसे मैंने सारथी आईएएस का ऑनलाइन कोर्स लिया था बिकॉज आई डिड नॉट हैव टाइम, आई वाज इन कॉलेज। तो मैंने सारथी आईएएस का एमएमपी प्लस लिया हुआ है। एंड देन एमएमपी प्लस जब मेरा ख़त्म हुआ, जो ऑनलाइन है, ऑनलाइन ही है वो, उससे मैंने काफ़ी चीज़ें मतलब कोशिश मतलब उसका कंटेंट यूज़ किया है। अब वैसे मैंने मोस्टली अपने नोट्स खुद बनाए हैं। एंड सेकेंडली मैंने पीआरपी लिया था ताकि मेरा रिविजन अच्छे से हो पाए, तो वो भी ऑनलाइन था सारथी आईएएस का। यार माय रिवीजन शेड्यूल वाज ऑन दिस बेसिस कि हमारी जो रिकॉलिंग कैपेबिलिटी है वो हर दिन कम होती रहती है। सो आई यूज टू रिवाइज 1 डे आफ्टर आई रेड समथिंग, देन आई यूज टू रिवाइज 7 डेज आफ्टर आई रेड समथिंग, एंड देन वही सेम चीज़ मैं 30 दिन बाद रिवाइज करता था। जब तुम 30th डे वाले में पहुंचते हो तो योर ब्रेन लाइक मतलब उसमें आ जाता है, वो फिट हो जाता है। आई थिंक 11th 12th geography एनसीईआरटी इज इनफ। आई रिलाइड ऑन फोरम आईएएस की प्रीलिम्स के लिए। मेंस के लिए आई रिलाइड ऑन विजन आईएएस के फुल लेंथ टेस्ट, एंड ऑप्शनल के लिए डी फैक्टो लॉ का मैंने टेस्ट सीरीज दी थी। तो इन सब की मैंने टेस्ट सीरीज दी हुई है। One major mistake was that I I put in my all to this exam, and I did not take care of my mental health a lot, and I had to suffer for a long time. So that was one mistake, but I think I learned from it, and that's how you move in life. I think handwritten notes are the most important aspect of mains preparation because तुम्हें अपने हैंड रिटन नोट ज़्यादा अच्छे से रिकॉल रहते हैं, एंड मेंस में काफ़ी कुछ रिकॉल पे डिपेंड करता है। I'll tell once more. I used to read something abhi, for example, I read aaj hai na. Then after 1 day I used to revise it. Then after 7 days I used to revise it again. And then after 30 days I used to revise this again. And 30th day पे मेरा जो I would say जो चीज़ थी वो मेरे को याद हो जाती थी. So that is basically it is that there is this कुछ reason है इसका actually. Yeah, of course सबका करता है यार, but you have to be focused. My optional was law. I think 6 attempts are allowed. Like it depends. 3 years is the average. Dev Pramanik sir is here. Anything यार for environment I think first of all base होना ही चाहिए उसके लिए भी. It is not बोलते हैं कि it is dynamic subject, but ऐसा नहीं है कि उसका कोई बेस नहीं है, उसका भी बेस होता है, and you have to read that. उसके बाद ही तुम्हें ये सारी पीटी वगैरह काम आती हैं. You need to have good foundation for environment also. Nobody is sure about selection in UPSC CSE. That is a fact. Even AIR1 cannot be sure that he will make it to the list. That is the unpredictability of this exam. Third year, third year of my college. Chalo guys, nice to talk to you, and कभी और बात करते हैं. I have to go somewhere, है ना? So it was nice talking to you. I think I have addressed the major questions. Current affairs I'll deal with in a proper video. I'll do that. But बाकी चीजें let's keep it uh for the next time. Right? It was nice.